Well, it's that time. Good old Mueller copper. The one thing in my last 30 years plus of doing copper never has leaked on me like that white shit up there that I keep pulling out of job sites that keeps leaking. I can guarantee when somebody calls me up and they tell me I have a system that was installed 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and the guys keep coming back up and filling it up, and they say they can't find the leak, or they find the leak and they say they don't want to fix it even though they're the ones who installed it, because it doesn't matter if you get the product for free. If it leaks, what good does that do when you could put a product in that my grandchild will work on years from now and it still won't leak? Quality is more important than ease and price. I thought that stuff was great because it was so easy to pull through a house. But you know what? I'd rather spend more on materials, more on labor, and have a system that never leaks than have a freaking thing that's like a sieve. So my job today is pulling out all this white crap and putting in some good old-fashioned Mueller, the laborious, tedious way that I will guarantee will not leak. Unlike other manufacturers who make excuses and says it's the environment. Well, mofo, in this building for the last 40 years, on all the other systems, they have Mueller everywhere. We install this shit, and half of this system is Mueller, some of it is the white shit from Italy, and all the white shit leaks. None of the Mueller leaks. And in every building that I've been in, it's always the white shit that leaks and the Mueller is not leaking. And there's always excuses. Excuses are like assholes. Everyone has one. So this is what I'm doing today. Replacing copper with copper that's only a couple years old. All right, guys. See you after I finish this monotonous job. And the heads are kind of shit service. The guys they cleaned them. They kept breaking the fins. You know, they were doing their own maintenance. Well, it was good. But the only problem is they use caustic. Right now it smells heavy in bleach right now. They use bleach, they use peroxides. They used to use sulfur, stuff like that, which is hard on copper. But these heads are gonna get replaced probably this next year. And so I'm putting ball valves in the system. So all I have to do is turn off the individual head, and when it needs to be replaced, get rid of the shitty wall mounts and put on a high static that I can put a real filter on, one that I know doesn't have to be maintenance. These are maintenance pigs. You got to maintenance these every couple months in this situation. Where in his other rooms, this room here, and that room there, those were my recommendations and what I put in those rooms. High static heads. There's 2 high static heads in each one of these 3 rooms that are right here. And they were put in several years ago, and they still have never been maintained. They've never been cleaned. They never clogged up. They never stopped working. Where these things, every several months, they just grow algae and mold and mildew, clog up. The little funky ass filters clog up on them. The blower wheel goes out of balance. That's another problem when you grow mold on them, and it'll make them stop working. So never use, and in a commercial or industrial area, do not use the wall mounts. I've heard salesmen, well, I beg to differ with you. Well, we could agree on not agreeing. Well, you know what? This is what you could do with your frickin' wall mounts. When it comes to the customer and downtime and breakdowns and high money situations where every hour is hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars, or losing a product that's worth tens of thousands of dollars in room, and you're gonna install wall mounts, you're gonna have trouble, guaranteed. That's what it's all about. Install a high static with good filters on it, and you'll go for a decade. All right, guys, now I could go.